Go.
What's up, everybody? Back talking about all the games in week 14. We're going to cover all of them in its entirety, give our best insights and analysis as we always do. And all we ask you, like the video if you're enjoying it, subscribe to the channel to keep getting our NFL content and now college basketball content that's been going really well, and comment what you think for this week.
All right, right into it. Only got two teams on buys, so stacked slate this week. Starting off with the Thursday night game, the 2-10 Patriots heading to Pittsburgh to face the 7-5 Steelers now. Patriots couldn't even muster a point in the loss to the Chargers, and the Steelers weren't really much better, only putting up 10 points in the defeat to the Cardinals. Trubisky will start with Kenny Pickett's injury.
Brutal.
Any additional leans here in this game where probably expecting both offenses to really struggle? The over under sitting at 30 points right now.
Yeah, we talked about this in other videos too, but when the over under is this low, you have to take the under. It's like I don't even think 20 points get scored in this game. I think a lot of that has to do though with the recency bias for the Patriots scoring zero, and then also you get the backup quarterback for the Steelers, and they're coming off a pretty poor performance, albeit it's some terrible weather against the Cardinals. What I think is that people are buying too much, and I've been on the Patriots so many times this season. And honestly, if you take the Patriots spread and tease it most weeks or every week, you're making money as long as the other leg of the teaser is hitting. Like the Patriots tease spread is hitting because they don't score. But I said in the Survivor video, they have allowed the least amount of points across the entire NFL, including the great defenses of the Cowboys, Niners, Ravens. In the last 4 weeks, this Patriots defense has really been balling out. I wouldn't be shocked if the Patriots win this game with a total this low against their backup quarterback. Things are going to get weird this game. I don't know what's going to happen, but I certainly like the Patriots +6 there in the case where Mitch Trubisky, his first reps in a while with the first team offense against the Patriots defense that's been balling out. I expect the Patriots defense to keep them in the game like they did against the Chargers. And, maybe they can put up some points themselves and let the Patriots come out of here with a win. I think I really like the Patriots with the points, especially in a teaser.
Yeah, I mean, +6 seems like a lot for such a low
For a
total.
low total.
At the
Yeah.
same time, didn't score a point last week, but they're breaking out the trick plays. I mean, Bill Belichick's still the head coach, so you're going to get some good coaching, good defensive play. But yeah, this is going to be a gross game. This is the lowest total since 2005.
Then Iowa
If it
football game.
stands.
Yeah. And I want to say this before we move on to the next game. Like, people are going to say, well, Ramondre Stevenson's not going to play this game. Do you care? I don't care. Like, I mean, Zeke Elliott is definitely a downgrade from Stevenson, but he's serviceable. And you know what? It's just more about the Patriots finding ways to win in a low total. If this total was 40 and they're saying we think the Steelers are for sure going to put up 20 plus points, then it'd be a different story. But I don't think that's the case for these guys. It's an interesting NFC South matchup. I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, got the 5-7 Bucks going up against the 6-6 Falcons. Both teams pulled out wins last week. Neither were really pretty, but this division's looking like it's going to go down to the wire.
Yeah.
The Falcons holding a game lead over the Bucks and the Saints. Saints also with a nice matchup this week against the Panthers. So it's going to get crowded. Already is crowded at the top of that division.
Yeah.
Falcons did already win this matchup by 3 on the road in week 7. Do you like the Falcons to build a little cushion here, or do you think Baker and the Bucks get going on offense?
You know, everything says the Falcons should win this game. Again, you just mentioned they won on the road previously. I think they match up really well against the Bucks, but it would just go really well for the pandemonium in a game script of the NFL if the Bucks could beat the Falcons here. And then, like we talked about, or you just said, the Saints are likely in line to beat the Panthers, who only have one win this season. It'd be fun to see three teams tied for the lead of the NFC South at what did you say, 6-6 there?
They would all be 6-7
Six
then,
and
I think.
seven, yeah.
Yeah.
0 week 14. That would make sense. That's what I want to happen. So I really can't give you an unbiased pick because I want the Bucks to win. I will say this from a betting standpoint. We talk about this all the time. Low total +2.5 is like the best number to tease because you get to tease through 3 and 7. Divisional matchup you had to really win this game for the Bucs to keep any shred of playoff hopes alive. I think because of that, that is going to let the Bucs win this game. You saw it for the Seahawks against the Cowboys on Thursday night. Well, it worked out for the Cowboys. The game was much closer than everyone expected. That was really one of the Seahawks' last stands for a playoff push, and they left it all out on the field. I would imagine the Bucs do the same thing here, and I think it helps that they lost to them the first time because no one wants to lose to a divisional rival twice in one season. But what do you think?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think the Bucks win this game on the road.
I like it.
I mean, Falcons, good pieces, just not really playing to their full potential. You could almost say the same thing for the Bucks with
Yes, you
how
could.
Todd Bowles is coaching that team. But I mean, this Falcons defense is really great against the run. Bucks really rely on their pass game. I think they match up pretty well offensively. The big issue is like Chris Godwin has not gotten the ball enough this year. They're
Mhm.
relying pretty much solely on Mike Evans. I don't know what Todd Bowles is doing. I mean, Chris Godwin's wife was out on Twitter, I think, complaining about Todd Bowles and
Yeah.
he's saying about Godwin. But I think there's pieces on this offense, and I think they match up well enough that they could just put up enough points.
Yeah. The Falcons have such an edge over the Bucks on defense, but it's just kind of one of the games where throughout the stats, the statistics and record books, and this is what the Bucks need to keep their season alive. Desperation is real in the NFL. See, I'm excited. It's tough games. A lot of low totals this week. This game too. I want to see something
Yeah,
else.
just overall. I mean, we've talked about it throughout the course of the year, but the scoring just hasn't been as high as it has the last several seasons.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
Looking
what
at
I'm
this one
excited
though,
to.
got the 6-6 Rams head into the 9-3 Ravens. Ravens coming off a bye, and the Rams offense got hot again in the win over the Flacco-led Browns. I'd say pretty good tease spot. McVay's teams haven't played well when outmatched. Um, they're 0-8 when 6.5 points or greater dogs. So I like the Ravens to just win this game. Harbaugh also really great in primetime matchups, 37 and 17 since joining the Ravens on primetime. Not sure on his record off the bye. I know he's like 9-6 against the spread. That's all I could find. But this Ravens team plays well in big time games, at least under Harbaugh the last decade or however long. Um, and I just think the Rams are another team that also kind of plays not too like they don't play up to the competition. I think they beat up on some lower teams, but just against the top tier teams since they won the Super Bowl, they just haven't been that competitive.
Yeah, you
And it's
scared me
really just
when.
talent.
No, I'm with you all the way. You scared me when you said it's a great spot for a tease because I was hoping you wouldn't say tease the Rams. Everything you said, I'm with. I think the Ravens crush the Rams here. Like everything you said, I can agree with. The Ravens do not play down to their competition, and the Rams don't step up. The Rams are like the best bad team in football, and so they beat up on other bad teams. They even compete with some bad good teams. But the Ravens are elite. They don't mess around. Coming off a bye, I will want to say this is not a primetime game. I don't know if you're just throwing that stat out there. You're playing this game at noon.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, my bad.
All good, all good. But everything you said, Ravens roll here off a bye. I don't even care that they don't have Mark Andrews. I think Isaiah Likely is a really solid tight end that will fit well in this offense. They, I don't even think the Rams are going to put up much points. I think you see this is the kind of game I imagine will be very similar to when the Ravens played the Lions. Just an absolute beatdown and showing them you're like not in our league. You're playing in a different football league right now. That's what I would guess.
Yeah,
So I'm with it.
that
But the
that's what
minus
I'm feeling.
the tees, great spot. That's probably what I'll put with the Patriots.
Yeah, yeah. I love the Ravens to just win that game.
Another low
Moving
total.
on. Mentioned this one earlier already, but the 1-11 Panthers going to the 5-7 Saints NFC South matchup. Panthers lose again to the Bucks last week, and the Saints dropped a close one to the Lions. They're well within the division here, and you finally saw the offense get going a little bit in the loss. But Taysom Hill got some touches both in the
He
pass and the
should.
run game, and it just added another layer to that offense that they really needed.
Dude, I say this every week. Like this offense, when they won the games this season, and when this offense goes, it's because like Taysom Hill's the X factor that they use. Like They had a streak there in the middle of the season where they ripped off a few games in a row, putting up 24 plus points. Every single one of those games, Taysom Hill was heavily involved in the offense, either in the pass, rush, or even receiving game. Like I'm begging Dennis Allen to use him more, and because when he has, it's proven a lot of success for this Saints team. I think this is just like the Bucks at 5-7. This is a pretty much must-win game to keep your playoff hopes alive this late in the season for the Saints. That being said, because the divisional matchup, even though it's at home, it's against a Panthers team that hasn't won a game in a long time. I get nervous just because no team. There's a reason that very few teams have won 0 games or even 1 game in a season. It's because these guys get paid to play football too, and they're still NFL talent. I think if the Panthers are going to win another game for the rest of the season, it might be this one. Not predicting that because I think it's a lot of desperation for the Saints. And like you said, it kind of felt their groove last week, but it just scares me with a low total game like this. When there's a low total, anything can happen. Like you're saying that the margin for error is that much less because you're going to score that fewer points.
Yeah, I actually like the over in this one. These two teams played a few weeks back. Put up the total in that game was 37 points, pretty much right what this line's at. But the Saints defense has not been playing at the same level as they have been. In the last 5 weeks, the only team they've held to less than 20 points was the Bagent-led Bears to 17. Everybody else has put up more than 24. So I like
I
I
that.
like the Saints to score here. Use Taysom Hill a bit more, and then even the Panthers to get more than 10, at least 10 points in this one. I like the over.
I dig it. Yeah, I like that take. Hey, like I was waiting for one of these games to break a total over 41 points. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Moving on to this matchup, we got the Lions coming off their win.
Yeah.
Bears coming off of a bye. Uh, NFC North matchup. I like the Lions, but I don't love the line. It's kind of a I mean, 6 points better than the Bears, I'd say is fair. But they tend to play to other teams' levels of competition, as we've talked about. Saw it last week with the Saints. And then this is a Bears defense that's been playing a lot better since getting Montez Sweat.
Mm-hmm.
On paper, Lions 9-3, Bears 4-8, but I think this is another game that could get a little dicey.
I'm with
What are
you.
you feeling?
The throw out the stats and record book, and I've watched football for so long in my life, it says the Bears win this game because they're coming off a bye week. Like I said, no one wants to lose their divisional rivals twice in a season. No one wants to let them have that bragging right over them. The fact that they had the game in their back pocket last time they played and let slip, I guarantee that's what they talked about for the last 2 weeks since their last loss and looking forward to the Lions throughout the bye week. That's all they've been talking about. And they've been looking better. The defense has really been doing well in creating turnovers. You saw it against the Lions. You saw it against the Vikings. They've been playing at really good levels. Like you said, since they got Montez Sweat, a little bit more added pressure on the quarterback has to help. I would not be surprised at all if the Lions blow out the Bears here, but that's what just the stats say. Again, from watching the Bears specifically for this long in my life, it seems like if they're, like you said, if it's going to get dicey, it's this game. If they're going to win a game, it's this game.
Yeah. I don't love it, but yeah, I'm not confident enough to take the Lions -3 here.
Yeah, like this is a game where I'm either teasing the Bears and I'm not, or I stay away altogether, which is what I would do.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I were to do anything, I'd take the over there. It seems too low.
Yeah, I think the Bears defense is kind of overperforming at the same time, but they have been a lot better. They're not the Swiss cheese defense they were
Yeah.
in the first half of the season.
I'm looking right now, and the line's actually 43.5 now. So it was when I
Oh,
played
geez.
better
Okay.
40. So people have been hammering the over.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Right.
that's already moved heavily. But moving on, got the 7-5 Colts now, looking like a playoff team, and then the Bengals 6-6 after the Monday night win in Jacksonville. Colts coming off another win too, 4 in a row for them. Just looking at the stats, Colts are 4-1 on the road this year. Played well outside of Indianapolis. Um, we should probably not see Jonathan Taylor still. 3 to 5 week recovery
No.
after the surgery. So don't is probably expecting Zach Moss to handle most of the load in the backfield. But on the flip side, Going to see Browning again. Mixon looked great in the win against Jacksonville, but still a really tough team for me to bet on, being the Bengals without Burrow.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Browning looked pretty solid in the win, and I was really encouraged by the running game from both Chase Brown and Joe Mixon there. I just don't know how it's going to fare against the Colts team. Garnet, like you said, Gardner Minshew's been looking good this season. Like it's a picking game, and right now the Colts are in the playoffs and they're fighting for it. The Bengals aren't out of it at 6-6 right now. They would need a really nice second half performance from Browning to make it. I'm trying to see like the Colts. They seem to always have a pretty solid defense, but they have the second worst ranked run defense in the NFL right now, according to PFF. Like that's not like the Colts. I'm pretty sure that I saw that they waived Shaq Leonard, which for someone that doesn't follow the Colts that much, really
Yeah,
shocked me because he like before this season, like he was the guy there. He was the middle linebacker
right.
who did
Yeah,
everything. I mean, when they won games because he was forcing fumbles, getting turnovers, racking up tackles in the stat sheet. This Colts defense hasn't really done much this year to impress anybody in any phase of the game. So this one, people probably come to this channel for us to actually make picks here. I really don't know what I like in this. I think I'd have to decide on the Colts here. Even without Taylor, they got a much better offensive line, protect the quarterback a little bit more, and
yeah.
run the ball. And Pittman's been really good as a weapon with Minshew there. Like I said, playing better than
And the
his.
Bengals coverage is the worst rated according to PFF. I mean,
Yeah.
no Taylor. Might see a little bit more passing with Minshew. He
Yeah.
played well last week in the win.
Yeah, he doesn't look bad. He's there's
He
seven and
hasn't been
a
he
half right
hasn't
now.
been great, but he's been good enough at
He's done
least.
what they need to do. That's what the Colts never, except for even when they had Andrew Luck, they never needed to win with quarterback. But it helps when they have one.
Yeah.
They don't need to win with it. They're not going to ever be a threat without it, but they can still muster up wins. So I made this line. Let's see how much this line's changed because I know it's 3.5 now. So even though the status of Trevor Lawrence, I've read that he's got a pretty uphill battle if he wants to play this Sunday. Basically, in my mind, he's not playing yet. It's only the Browns are only a 3.5 point favorite. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, two teams with winning records. DTR is back at practice. The Browns also haven't made a decision on what they're gonna do between him and Flacco heading into this game. So I mean, you don't really know what's gonna happen in either quarterback position. So I feel like you just have to wait at least another day or two if
Yeah,
you want to bet this game. The total is extremely low. I know the Browns defense has been brutal to play against. Probably going to get some gross weather in Cleveland, but that
yeah.
total just seems so low if you get like Trevor Lawrence starting in this game. Like
He's not.
he could he probably won't, but yeah, and that's why you're seeing it at 30.5 here.
If he was
Um,
even questionable to play, they wouldn't have this line out. Like he's not
yeah,
because they would just like Vegas wouldn't put the line on. They'd say we're going to wait and see too. The fact that this line even exists you have to believe he's not playing.
this game's tough though. Like the Jags have been the best team on the road this year at 4-0, and the Browns have been the best team in the NFL at home, or one of the best at 5-1.
I think you got to take the Jags even minus 3.5 here. No
Really?
Christian Kirk. No, their defense is so great. Like I don't think that who's the Iowa guy? What's Beathard? CJ Beathard. He's not. I don't think he's going to score a point. I 3 points. 3 points to the Jags. I just I'm in love with this Browns defense. That's my problem. I think they're so elite, and I just
What's the deal with Miles Garrett? Is he out for the year? Or
so I
what
thought
happened
I
with
saw he
that?
was like playing, but like there's no way even if he is, he's 100%. Let's see. Give me a quick update here. Um, I don't know. Yeah, he
Yeah.
played. He played,
Oh
but
wow.
there's no way he's like half of Miles Garrett is as good as just about one of anybody else, but he's not playing at his talent level. That's for sure.
No, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think I got to go with you on the Browns defense here, just leading them to a win. Probably have a little bit more of a run game just behind the better O line,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
again like the Colts, same kind, almost same type of team, offensive line run game.
yeah. All right, 7-5 Texans head into the 4-8 Jets. Jets only putting up 8 points in the loss. Texans beat the Red Hot Broncos at home by 5. We've been kind of on the Texans the last few weeks.
Yeah.
This has been a really fun team to follow. Jets, on the other hand, have been trending in the complete opposite direction. Saleh looked like he wanted to go back to Zach Wilson this week. Basically told him he doesn't want to. So not sure what they're going to be doing on the offensive side of the ball, but just it seems so hard to back a team like that. Doesn't know what they're doing at the quarterback position. The quarterback doesn't even want to play. In my mind, just an interesting thing to look at is just looking at these two rosters, look at the weapons on the Jets, the defense, and then look at the Texans and just seeing how important the quarterback play is.
Yeah, that's
Like it's just unreal. Like they're 7-5 and the Jets are 4-8.
And the Jets have one of the best defenses in football. Also, a point I wanted to make, looking at this, people have been hammering the Jets since Monday. It's now at -3.5 Texans, +3.5 Jets.
Really?
Over under is the same relatively. So that's interesting there. I was going to say, like the Jets, I would never pick, you cannot pick the Jets +5.5. You can't pick the Jets ever this season, how they've looked. Still shocking that they beat the Eagles. But with Zach Wilson, and, I'm still waiting for CJ Stroud to have a terrible performance, and he just won't do it. And I'm going to stop predicting that he does. Like, he's looking really well within this offense. He's going to be without Tank Dell, rookie wide receiver, who's out for a while. But, he's getting Noah Brown back, who's, played well with him, maybe as a product of Stroud's good skill. But also Nico Collins, who's looked really good this year, too. I'd have to – total this low, it's hard to have 5.5. 3.5 makes much more sense. I do think I like the Texans -3.5 as, the Jets decide they're doing nothing. But whenever you're so down and out on a team like the Jets, like I'm saying right now, it's the perfect time to buy into them, which is why,
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah, it probably is a buy low like spot for them, but it's so hard to bet against
So hard to bet
right now.
Texans keep defying the odds. Jets keep defying the odds in the opposite way, where you just think they can't go any lower, and then they do. Kind of like the Patriots. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who do you think the Jets can even come out here with the win? I think it's possible.
I mean, yeah, I think it's absolutely possible. I just don't see the offense putting up more than 14 points. And
their run game's been abysmal. This offensive line is everything for the Jets because it's been nothing. They have great talent with Breece Hall, obviously Garrett Wilson. Cannot get the ball to either one of them because his offensive line is so poor. So see what happens there. I'll be watching the game. That'll be fun. Finally, a total, over six touchdowns there. Yeah.
yeah. Finally,
almost 7 again there.
But got the NFC West matchup. 6-6 Seahawks now been falling apart this second half of the season. The Niners now 9-3. Put on an absolute clinic in the win over the Eagles.
Yeah,
the Seahawks lost last Thursday to the Cowboys. Was a competitive game, but getting those couple extra days to prepare for this one. Seahawks, like you said, trending down, lost their last 3. Niners won their last 4. It almost, I know we like to talk about buying low, selling high, whatever, but this Niners team to me looks like they're going to win out the rest of the season as long as these guys stay healthy.
Yeah, it's what it looks like.
When the guys are playing, they're just too dominant at almost every position. I don't know how. I don't see Geno Smith being successful in this game, but the spread is still 10.5. Is there any value you see there?
Yeah, it's like keep in mind, this was the same spread that it was when the Seahawks were on the road and played the Cowboys. The Seahawks made the game very close by scoring a lot of points, not necessarily by playing defense. I guess the big question is, same kind of spread. You can even argue maybe the same caliber opponent on the road here, divisional opponent that you've seen once already this season. Do they either put up a bunch of points like they did to keep this game close against the Cowboys, or do they play a little tighter on defense to keep this game close and get the 10.5? I don't know if they can do either one of those, to your point. And I think if you're talking about strictly in the buy low sense, yeah, I think the 10.5 is the right play here. But the 49ers defy odds with how great of talent they have at just about every position offensively and defensively. Like, they could put up 47 in this game themselves. Who knows? That's just how they play. Yeah. So I'm staying away from this game. Of course, I'm picking the 49ers to win this one. But if you had to make me pick a spread here, I think I would take the Seahawks, quite honestly.
Yeah. I could see it. I think I would still lean towards the Niners spread. 10.5's a lot,
I think out of
especially
all these
especially the
picks,
Seahawks aren't a bad team.
no, I think out of all
Um,
the picks I'm leaning on, I want to take the under. Like I feel like divisional opponents second
really,
time around. Like that's why we talked about the Bears Lions game, low total. We didn't like that. Didn't think that made sense. I think part of like these guys know the tricks up each other's sleeves. They've played each other once this year. They all going to make it's a lot easier to make defensive adjustments than it is to make offensive adjustments.
yeah,
That's
that's
where you
true.
get the under. So that's where I think I really like it. And then again, if I think the Seahawks are going to compete, last ditch effort for the playoffs here, if they lose this game, they go below 500. It's going to be really tough for them. I think this is the time for them at least to make a stand. They might not win just like the Cowboys game, but I think they're going to see something similar where you're surprised by some facet of the Seahawks game in this match here.
Yeah, maybe it's Witherspoon. Who knows?
Let's do it. Right now,
Ooh.
now we have to bet him throwing it, getting him.
All right, 6-6 Vikings head into the 5-7 Raiders. Both teams returning from byes. Justin Jefferson should also be back for this game. Um, both these teams have been playing pretty solid. Vikings, uh, after their terrible start, obviously been playing really well, even despite their last game being a loss. And then the Raiders, they're 2-2 with Antonio Pierce. He stepped in and done not a bad job as interim head coach. If both of those losses too are against the Chiefs and the Dolphins, so um,
Yeah.
can't knock them too hard.
Uh,
I think this Raiders team is playing a lot better with since making that head coach change. Um, I'll let you say what you got for this one first.
Yeah, I'll keep it a little bit shorter because we got a lot of games to go, and this one's not as enticing as some later ones. I think with Justin Jefferson back, the Vikings win this game by more than 3 points. I think maybe I like the over, but it's certainly like the Vikings team total over, which is getting an implied 21.5 points. Right? Is that something like that? Pretty sure that's the number. So I like the Vikings here to win with Justin Jefferson back. What about you?
I think I like the Raiders. I don't
Yeah.
think a lot of people are going to be on them.
I don't think you know what, it doesn't definitely seems like a trap game. Now that I'm looking at it, like just Jefferson back, the Vikings are a
Yeah,
good football team.
yeah. I mean, they're 2-2 with Antonio Pierce. Both those losses against the Chiefs and the Dolphins. I mean, Aiden O'Connell's looked like an upgrade over Garoppolo, and
Very
he's
fair.
also only has 4 or 5 games under his belt. So each game as he does move on in his career has looked a little bit better. And this Raiders defense is, I mean, they're not great by any means, but they're solid against the pass, which the Vikings are rely heavily on. You got a decent secondary, about round middle in the league, but then you have the pass rush led by Max Crosby. So I like them to stay competitive in this one at
You
+3.
convinced me. You convinced me. I like the Raiders more than the Vikings now. It seems too easy to pick the Vikings -3 here. It just I
Yeah,
haven't
I
really thought
mean
about
the
this game.
Raiders are they're not as bad as
No,
they.
they're not. I haven't thought about this game too much before looking at this. And then, it
That's
says
fair.
I look at it, I read this box, and I say, dude, the Vikings getting JJ back. They looked really good this second half of the season with Josh Dobbs. What's stopping them? The Raiders might be that team to do it. I think it's a great take on your part.
Moving on. Uh, two two great AFC teams. Haven't been playing up to that level so far this season, or at least the last few weeks. Bills sitting at 6-6, Chiefs at 8-4. Bills coming off a bye, and the Chiefs off the loss at Lambeau. Feels like a game both teams really want to win, even more so for the Bills.
Yeah.
You can't go below 500, but this Chiefs team, starting to lose a few games in the last month, have not looked anywhere near as dominant as they have the last season or even the first couple months of the year. A lot of that having to do with the Kansas City receivers. Um, and PFF still puts the Bills ahead of the Chiefs,
I was
even
gonna
at
say the same
500.
thing. I was gonna say the same thing.
Um, yeah, so I mean the line here, yes, says it's about even. What do you like?
I'm gonna say it again. +2.5 is the best spot to tease. The Bills have to win this game. The Bills have to win this game. And it hurts that the Chiefs are coming off a loss because that makes me like the Chiefs a little bit more. But the Bills have to win this game. They're so far outside looking in right now that they cannot possibly lose another one. Chiefs at least can afford to. They don't want to, but they can afford to. The Bills can't afford to. I really like the Bills in a teaser here, and I really think the Bills win this game just because I have to. And you saw the Chiefs have the inability, or at least a struggle throwing the ball downfield to the receivers outside of Travis Kelce. That is the one thing that the Bills do not have a problem doing. They can throw the ball all field, downfield, all game long. In fact, that's what they're better at more than anything. If the Chiefs try to play that game of football with them, they're not going to win this time around. When they won it in that divisional round, they had Tyreek Hill and Kelce deep all day. They don't have that combo to stretch the field as much. If they're getting a shootout with Josh Allen right now, the Chiefs are not as well equipped as they used to be to win that game. I think they get beat here in a slugfest in this high total affair.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen just got to hold on to the ball.
That's all you got to do.
Like, he's turning it over way too much. That's why they're 6-6. Still a great team. PFF says so, and that they passed the eye test. I mean, they've been a great team the last few years and have pretty much all the same guys.
Yeah, I think I'm going to bet on them for sure to win. Just straight up money on. They have to win.
Love it. All right, AFC AFC West matchup. 6-6 Broncos. Coming off the loss to the Texans, were red hot before that, and then the Chargers beat the Patriots in that disgusting game to prove to 5-7. Brandon Staley keeps his job for another week.
I know,
at
this is
least.
another day.
This one is really tough for me to choose. I really like the Broncos. That seems like an easy pick for me just off the bat. But I really wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers win this one at home either. Especially when you see those games where the Broncos struggle to put up points. You know, Herbert could always drop 30 on any week. So that's what makes this one tough for me. What's your read?
Dude, the same exact sentiment. It was what you just said. And you got those two people on your shoulder, Broncos, Chargers. I think I'm leaning towards the Chargers in this game for those points you just said. They're rolling right now at least in the win column. I think Staley's going to keep his job until they're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. And so that basically means that every game he is playing for his job. And I mean, these Chargers team too are playing for the playoffs, not even playing for Brandon Staley. They want to make the playoffs, and they still have a shot to do it. Not a great chance, but if the Bills lose against the Chiefs and they win this game, these guys have the same record. Like they are and then you're playing against like the Colts, you're competing with these last spots like the Colts or like the Bengals who are falling off, obviously, without Joe Burrow. With 7 playoff spots, you really can make it with one game over 500. If these guys win out, they will make the playoffs and they have a chance to do it. And so I don't think their season ends this week. And I think the Chargers win.
Yeah. I just can't trust enough. I think I'm still leaning the Broncos, but yeah, can't bet.
We're on the same page here. We're thinking the same thing. Like, how do the Broncos not win it? Or really, how do the Chargers win it? But they might just find a way, just as easily as they find ways to lose games.
Yeah. Great matchup in this one. NFC East, top 2 teams of the division, but 10-2 Eagles now. Lost to the Niners, like we talked about, really falling back to earth in that one. And the 9-3 Cowboys beating the Seahawks last Thursday. So they do have those couple extra days to prepare for this one. They're at home, and they're saying neutral site. This one's about even. Even the Cowboys are a half point better, which I'm slightly surprised from, especially with the Eagles coming off the loss and already winning this matchup previously on the season. But this one's tough because I like the Cowboys, but last time I liked the Cowboys too, and they let me down. And the Cowboys seem to always lose these games.
That's kind of where I was about to head to. Cowboys seems to always lose like these close games and against good opponents too. 52 points this game. Like, I don't trust the Cowboys in a 52-point shootout. I certainly trust Jalen Hurts more than Dak Prescott in a 52-point shootout. Let's say you're getting a 27-24 game, 28-24. That's basically what it's saying. I like the Eagles even to win, but it's certainly a cover here. I won't be the Cowboys definitely need it more. But what have you seen in the past from the Cowboys this season or in prior seasons that lead you to believe they can win games against teams that are on paper better than them? Cowboys struggled against the Seahawks last week, and that team isn't even 500 anymore. The team is just at 500. It's not even a playoff team anymore. Cowboys, you see them get demolished by the 49ers, who just demolished the Eagles too. But the Cowboys have really struggled against showing up against legit contenders. Can they do it this game? I'm going to say no. I think it's the easy way to say it and the easy route to go, but I'm going to say they don't step up this game either. Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna say it too. I my heart tells me they're gonna win, but my head and just the times I've gotten burned betting the Cowboys in those games, just can't do it.
exactly. I'll take this one here just because we got a few time left
Yeah.
in this game. I mean, I think Miami blows them out. I don't think anything special.
Yeah.
That's it. My
Yeah. I mean, especially with the Titans losing to the Colts last week, that kind of just sucked the air out of the season for them. That was like their last chance to get a little bit of life back into
yeah,
it, but 4-8 now, I don't think they got too much to play for other than a draft pick next year.
yeah. After that first game, Levis has really fallen off, and I mean, he doesn't have a ton of weapons. You can't blame him necessarily, but just not going the right way for them.
Yeah.
Two
This
Monday
one,
night or two, yeah, two Monday night games here. Second one right now. What do you think
yeah.
about Pack and the Giants?
Yeah. Packers beat the Chiefs on Sunday. Um, Jordan Love now getting tons of love after that game.
Mm-hmm.
And really looking like a much better quarterback over the last few weeks. Giants coming off a bye, sitting at 4-8. Um, PFF has the Giants graded as the worst team in the NFL, which I don't know if like this team just stinks, but they're 4-8. Three teams ahead of them have worse records, and several others with 4 wins. I don't know if I should be more impressed with Dable and what he's been able to do with such little talent, or if this team is just terrible.
Yeah,
Um,
it's tough with running with Tommy DeVito too, but I don't know. It definitely seems like we talked about some teams previously that are having late playoff pushes and trying to build momentum, and that bill certainly fits the Packers, who, while we're talking about PFF overall grade, are the 12th highest grade, right behind the Chiefs in the rankings in terms of PFF overall grade. This team, when they've lost, it's been ugly, but when they've won, they looked really good. And that's really what's going to happen here as they're facing the Giants after a bye for the Giants, not for the Packers. Um, you would have to think that Love keeps the momentum going. This team certainly seemed to hit its stride. I think I'm going to roll with the Packers here to keep the win streak going and, start to make a run of this NFC playoff push. We thought for a second that the Seahawks were going to have that. They're falling off. We thought the Rams might have it at the beginning of the season. They're falling off, in my opinion, even though I just don't trust their defense necessarily. A lot of teams at 6-6 in the NFC, the Vikings as well. I think that they need to win this game to start establishing themselves as a playoff team. I think they're going to do it. I trust the coaching, trust the play calling. I even start to trust Jordan Love. That's what I.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, all signs point to the Packers blowing them out in this one. It's just the Giants are plus 6.5 at home off a bye. That's kind of
It's
sus.
it's very enticing, and like you said, give credit to Dable, writing coach of the year with the talent that he's had to muster up 4 wins. He knows what to do, and he can only do so much with the talent.
Yeah,
But he's kept his team in games and allowed them to win,
right.
despite being objectively one of the worst, if not the worst team. I think you could argue with Tommy DeVito, it's the worst team in football.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that Packers offense is young too. They need time to play together, get some games under their belt, and now they're just starting to score a lot more points. Love's looking better, but Christian Watson wasn't in at the start of the year.
And he's
That's a
looking
big addition.
good. He's looking
Yeah,
real good. Jaden Reed,
yeah.
rookie,
Gene Reed.
he stepped up. Like they're finding they're finding his spot within this offense, both within the passing and rushing game. And he gets more comfortable playing at NFL speed. Dobbs is playing better too. Just getting that connection and rapport with a young quarterback helps a lot too. Things are starting to click in Green Bay, it seems like. And
Yeah,
what we saw week 1 against the Bears, we're starting to see a little bit more again.
yeah. I would absolutely agree.
I think, yeah, that'll round out the video, Slee. Just on time. I think we did a great job again, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, pat ourselves on the back for that one.
Yeah. Best of luck, everyone. Whether you're just watching week 14, gambling, making survivor picks, anything.
Yeah.
We hope it goes well for you.
Go Bears.
Go Bears.